and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer. I'm Maisie, and this is Maisie with a Z, and today, for Bookmas Day 9, I'm going to be talking about my favorite contemporary romance books of the year. I've got 6 adult romance books and 5 YA romance books to talk about. So I'm going to talk about the adult first and then the YA. The first book we're going to be talking about is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've read 3 Emily Henry books so far, where that's Beach Read, People Who Meet on Vacation, and Book Lovers. I think Beach Read's still my favorite. I read that a couple years ago. But I really enjoyed Book Lovers. This is a combination of like small town romance and enemies to lovers. It's following our main character Nora Stevens, who's a literary agent, and basically her entire life is books. Her mother died when she was like barely an adult, and so she like raised her younger sister Libby and has like worked really hard to make sure like Libby's life is okay. This book follows Libby is pregnant with she's already had a couple children, but she's pregnant, and she asks Nora to go on vacation with her to a small town in North Carolina for a month in order to try and channel that sort of like small town transformation mentality. They basically keep running into Charlie, who's a editor who Nora dislikes from New York, but he also has connections to the small town, and they keep running into each other. And it's just really fun. Enemies to lovers, and a fun twist on the kind of like Hallmark cliche of big city workaholic goes to small town and learns to slow down, where in this case it's 2 workaholics, and it's very fun. I really enjoy it, and if you like Emily Henry, honestly, just if you like adult contemporary romance, you'll really enjoy this. It's a good time. And next up is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Aisling Herring Blake. This follows Delilah Green, who's a photographer, and goes back to the small town she grew up in order to photograph her estranged stepsister's wedding. And then our other main character is Claire, who's one of Delilah's stepsister Astrid's best friends. So she and Delilah interact a lot around wedding events and such. And then Claire is a single mother to an 11-year-old daughter, and she runs a bookstore. The romance is so fun, but the book is also very much about family, where it's about Delilah reconnecting with her estranged stepsister, and it's about Claire's relationship with her daughter. And it's just really lovely, and I really enjoy it. Like, I always appreciate romance books that are about more than just like the main romance, and I think this one does a really good job. I did DNF the second book in the series, but I still really enjoyed the first one, so it's a good time. And then next up is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. It's another small town single parent story, only not really. It follows our main character Naomi, whose estranged identical twin sister like calls her to Knockemout, Virginia, and when she gets there she finds out that her sister is just like dumped her like 11-year-old daughter on her. So Naomi's now in charge of her niece and trying to find a place to live, where her twin stole her savings and her car. And then there's Knox, who's, I don't know, very connected to the small town, and it's very like grumpy sunshine, and it's just fun. I enjoy it. I liked Naomi's relationship with her niece more than the actual romance, but the actual romance is cute too. And then we have It Happened One Summer. This is a case where it's not the best written book I've ever read, but it's super fun. And it follows Piper, who is a socialite who's been kind of like living on her stepfather's money, and when she gets in like one scandal too far, he sends her and her younger sister to a small town where their father is from, like where their father's bar is still there. Anyway, and they're charged with running it, so it's Piper learning to take responsibility and kind of take care of her own life for the first time, so there's a lot of character development going on there. But it's also her learning to like trust herself and not underestimate her capabilities. It's also like a grumpy sunshine romance between her and like a fisherman in the small town, and it's really fun. Not the best writing I've ever read, but it's a quick read, and it's just a fun time, which is really all I was looking for from it. Next up is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Basically, this trilogy is all romances where at least one of the characters is autistic, and its own voices writing by Helen Huang, and I just really love it. The Kiss Quotient, like, my autism doesn't present very similar to Stella's at all, but I still like just really appreciated actually getting to see myself in a romance book, even if we have very different presentations of autism. It's a fun romance where she basically hires an escort to like give her lessons in like romance and sex and such. They end up falling in love, and like it's like a kind of fun twist, almost on like the fake dating trope, but not really. It's kind of a twist on it where it's like they catch feelings despite having intended to keep things as platonic as possible between them. It's just fun, and I'm so grateful for their own voices representation. And then our last adult romance book on this list is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This is Enemies to Lovers, where it follows a theoretical physicist named Elsie. She's kind of living the adjunct professor at 4 different universities life, and to make supplemental income she works for this fake girlfriend service. And then there's one client who she's been like repeatedly serving as like a fake girlfriend for because she likes him as a person, and his brother Jack has never liked her. And then she's offered the opportunity to interview for a job at MIT to become an actual professor. And the main person in charge for interview is the client's brother Jack, who dislikes her, and who is also Jack Smith, who is an experimental physicist who had done something years earlier that had made a complete fool of theoretical physicists in the eyes of academics. And she holds a serious grudge against him for that. So like they dislike each other on multiple fronts, and it's just really fun. I think it's Ali Hazelwood's best romance yet. I haven't read Checkmate yet, but like I think it's better than The Love Hypothesis or Love on the Brain, and it's super fun. I really like Elsie's character development, and I love the romance. I think like the subplots are well done, and it's just a good time. Next up is first YA romance, and that's Going by Coastal by Dahlia Adler. And I actually received an e-arc of this back when it first came out. But this is a sliding doors romance following a bisexual girl, and it basically follows like it starts out with her having to choose between spending summer with her dad in New York or her mother in LA. And it basically follows like the two possibilities where New York, she ends up developing a relationship with a girl she's been like pining over for years. And LA, she ends up falling for the other intern at her mother's company where she's working for the summer. It's super fun. I really enjoy both of the romances. I like all the characters. I think it does a good job executing two romance plots in the space of only one book. And yeah, like I've never liked sliding doors plot structures before, but I actually really enjoyed it in this case. I think it was super fun, and it's just a really good time. And like also, I'm just very grateful for the increased bisexual representation in YA books recently, where I read so many books this year which have bisexual main characters, and I'm just really grateful for like the increase in representation. Next up is Begin Again by Emma Lord, and this follows our main character Andy, who transfers from community college to the liberal arts college that she had always dreamed of getting into but had gotten rejected to originally, where her mother went. So she transfers starting second semester of her freshman year. She's originally planning on joining her boyfriend there, but when she gets there she finds out he transferred to her community college, and it's following her like friendships and everything at the college. And she's also, this is so complicated, there's a lot going on in this book. She also gets involved with the radio station her mother had been involved with while she was there, that's like very secretive. And there's also this ribbon hunt competition thing to join these various like secret societies on campus, and you can only find out which one an alumni is part of once you join one. And so she wants to find out which one her mother was part of, so she's trying to complete all these competitions in order to join one of the societies. And it's super fun. I did not do a good job explaining it at all, but if that sounds remotely like your type of thing, then it's very good. I love Emma Lord. Her books have never failed me. That's not true. Tweet Cute kind of failed me. The rest of her books have never failed me. It's very fun, but it's also about her connection to her like deceased mother, her new friendships, and all of the characters kind of have their own character arcs, and it's just, I really enjoy it. Then we have Counting Down with You by Tashi Buyan, I think. She's basically, her parents have kind of been very controlling her entire life, and so when they go home to Bangladesh for 4 weeks, then she's kind of expecting those to be like 4 weeks without other people's expectations or anything, but she ends up agreeing to fake date the like school bad boy Ace. And it's just like there's the two plots of the fake dating, which has all the fun fake dating tropes you could possibly want. It's so great. It's such a cute romance. But it also has a very big focus on Karina's character development and her choosing to follow what she wants in her life, even if like her parents disapprove of it. Like it takes a lot of character development for her to get to that point. It's just like really well written. I really enjoy it. It's an absolute 5-star read. Like it's just a very fun time. Next up we have All Alone with You by Amelia Diane Coombs. I've talked about this a lot on this channel, but I really enjoyed it. It follows our main character Eloise, who, due to a lot of mental health problems in the past couple of years, is like extremely isolated. At the start of her senior year, her guidance counselor recommends that she get, I think, 40 hours of volunteering in order to help with college acceptances. And so she starts volunteering with this organization that provides companionship to senior citizens through either phone calls or through visiting them. And she ends up getting paired with this high school boy. They twice a week visit this woman named Marianne, who was the lead singer of a like very popular band in the 70s. The romance between Eloise and the love interest is super cute, but also just like the friendship and connection between all three of them is really well written and really well done. And like I love Eloise's journey, and learning to let other people in and learning to trust other people and believe that they won't leave you. And it's just, I loved all of it so much. It was so good. Every aspect of it so is well done. The romance is well done. Eloise's character development is well done. The friendship between all of them is like really well written, and it is so good. If it sounds remotely appealing, then you should absolutely read it. And then last up is A British Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreak by Laura Taylor Namey. This is the companion novel to A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow, which is one of my favorite YA contemporary books of all time. This follows Flora, who's the younger sister of the love interest from that book. Her life has been in complete chaos recently, where her mother's recently passed away, and she's kind of facing university applications and a bunch of other things, and after a big blow up with her family, she ends up running away to Miami to stay with, like, basically family friends. And she's learning to pursue photography and accepting that, like, pursuing what she loves is an okay choice, but it's also about her learning to let other people in and process her emotions in a healthy way. And her character development is so good. And this does have a love triangle, which isn't always the best, but I think it's really well written here. I don't know, it's just so well done, and I love Laura Taylor Namey's books. I love this and A Cuban Girl's Guide so much because, like, the romance is really cute, but it's also very much about the, like, protagonists learning what they want for themselves as they're kind of facing adulthood, and learning what they want out of their lives, and learning about how to process emotions and how to, like, both of them, the romance is so cute, but they're about so much more than that, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, that about wraps up this list. So those are my favorite contemporary romance books of 2023. I hope you found some good recommendations on here, and yeah, thanks so much for sticking around at the end. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. You can find me on Instagram, Goodreads, Storygraph, and my blog at the links in my channel. And yeah, thanks again for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you later.